If you're watching after the live, you're probably going to have to skip forward a little bit. We're going to let some people hop on before we start diving into all the good stuff. Let me start off by saying, if you haven't seen the pay-per-view of the first ever Dungeon Super Series, there's still time. All you got to do is sign up for memberships on this channel, Stone TV. Get the membership. If for some reason your phone doesn't have memberships, it means your phone doesn't have the software, so you're going to have to use a desktop or a laptop. And yeah, I highly recommend getting the pay-per-view because there's 9 incredible matches, and there's only one place to see them, and that's this channel. Hey, what's up, Sayla? How you feeling from yesterday's training? Feeling pretty good? We had some good training yesterday. Josh says, "Yo, big dog, what's up, man? How's things over in New Jersey? Is it raining in Jersey? Because it's raining here." Sailor says, "Feels good." That's good. Yeah, yesterday was good training. We had more people than we normally have. Usually Tuesdays, a smaller turnout lately, but we had I think 5 or 6 people, which is usually a bigger turnout on Tuesday. It was good training. Josh says it's raining. That's all right. You need rain sometimes. Otherwise, none of the flowers will grow. Sailor says it was nice to see Alex. Yeah, it definitely was. He's feeling strong. Yeah, he's definitely feeling good. But we've been trying. I don't know if you guys seen that dry race board in the labyrinth. It's with the team rankings on it. There's numbers, there's left and right, numbers 1 through 7, and we don't have any team rankings yet. So I think I don't know what's the best way to start the team ranking, but I was thinking people on the team vote and then set it there, and then people could battle it out. I think the Tuesday team, I think we talked about this before, but I don't think we have enough people to do weight classes. We'll just do one team ranking. Maybe we have. Maybe we could do something with the lighter classes. But that's interesting. Derek says Stone Nic is back. Yep, they're doing the pre-lift live. Gotta keep the streak going. Sailor says, "Do you think less people are coming since you stopped doing the hammer battles? ? It is everyone just going to the dungeon now. There's a lot of people I haven't seen in a while." Maybe. It could be that. I think the biggest thing is the time and the day of week. I think Saturday is easier for most people to make. But maybe the hammer battle, stopping some people from coming. But I guess the main reason why I stopped the hammer battle is because I was only on Tuesdays when we do the hammer battle, I'd only arm wrestle for a little bit, and I'd spend most of my time filming. So I figured I needed more training time, so that's kind of why the hammer battle stopped. But I don't know if you saw, I did. I don't know if you saw the hammers hanging up where the trophies are. That hammer is actually retired. So I can't remember who the last person to actually win that hammer. But if we do something, we're going to need a new hammer. because the old hammer is retired. It's a trophy now. Yeah, we could definitely do something. And it's starting. Derek says Nic Stone versus The Rock. Hollywood fight. So what's that, like a movie fight or something? Well, I'll tell you what. I'm going to hit him with the car. You know, that's how we're going to do things. But pretty much any person that you say fight in Hollywood, I'm not going to Hollywood. There's a lot of creeps over in Hollywood. A lot of weirdos. Sailor says, I definitely agree. You get more training time in for sure. More productive. The battle was fun, though. Yeah, I mean, it was definitely fun. It was definitely fun. Maybe we could set something up for, maybe we could do a hammer battle, and maybe we can do that once in a while, and you know, we can put it under the memberships for the people that bought the pay-per-view. We can give them a little extra, a little something until the next event. So let's see, how do you say that name? Chai Sum says hi. What's up, man? Derek says Nic Stone versus Vin Diesel car fight. Well, I'm gonna definitely hit him with my car. Demolition Derby style. Chisholm says, how are you doing today? I'm doing good. I'm doing good. How you doing? We're talking about arm wrestling stuff. Except for Derek's trying to get me to fight everybody. Now he wants me to, he goes, Nic Stone versus Mike Tyson boxing match. Yeah, if we do a boxing match with Mike Tyson, it's under the rules he did last time where he wasn't allowed to win. You know what I mean? But I'll probably hit him with my car before, you know, on the way to the ring. Josh says, make one for the camera guys, round robin, LO. I'm definitely thinking about that. I think that's going to be one of the next matches on the card. You know, I think the people want to know who is the strongest cameraman in arm wrestling. And with that round robin, it's going to give people some answers. Josh, what's your weight at right now? I can't remember if I asked. What's your weight at right now? Derek says Nic Stone versus Tyson Fury in a street fight. Good thing about streets is there's cars, so you can get a car. Chisholm says, when is your next match? So I don't have anything locked in. Just a lot of talking right now. Nothing locked in. Nothing I was asked by promoters not to talk about, you know, the things we're talking about, so I can't really talk about it. But I am planning, if I can't find if nothing pops up with another promotion, the next match will be the next pay-per-view that we do. Josh says, well, come on. 193. All right, so that might be same weight, because so far the three cameramen from the last event, they're probably, the lightest is probably Natty Boy. He's probably the lightest. He's probably 170. He might be heavier. The heaviest is Caleb. He's probably 220. Tom is probably, you know, 220, 200. So it's all similar weight. They're all similar weight. So that could be something good. You versus Caleb, the other Caleb, versus Thomas. Derek says Nic Stone versus Hulk smash fight. Well, hopefully it's not the, you know, the cool, the original Hulk that was cool. Not the new one's a little fruity. But either way, gonna get probably gonna need a truck or something. But Josh says 20 pounds is a big difference. It is. It definitely is, especially in those weight classes. So yeah, we might have to play with some things. I'm sure the light guy Caleb, Natty Boy, he's probably the lightest. I'm sure he would probably. I don't know if that would be a deterrent, but I'm sure he'd be interested. So Slug says thoughts on the supplement HMB. So what's the abbreviation? What's the abbreviation for that? Derek says Nic Stone versus Levon, practice pull fight. Well, tell you what, Levon, I'm gonna wait until he gets to the top of the steps. Until he has to climb up some steps. Right when he gets to the top, I'm gonna hit him with my car. Josh says, that's like me going against Kevin Cowler. Maybe. It could be. It could be. Slug says, I should have just kept that abbreviated. Let's see, beta, hydroxy, beta, metha. To be honest, I am not sure what that is. Maybe I've seen it before, but I am not sure what that is. Derek says Levon will chase down with juice. Well, hopefully he's doing like apple juice or maybe some orange juice. There's even pineapple juice. Slug says it's a metabolite of the essential amino acid leucine. Oh, okay. Yeah, I mean, I've taken leucine before. Leucine's good, especially for for soreness and stuff like that. Yeah, I'm not. I mean, I know leucine is definitely good, but I'm not sure about the that version. But creatine is definitely good. Creatine is the most studied supplement out there, if I'm not mistaken. Derek says Nic Stone versus Akimbo, pull till break hand. Akimbo, is he that YouTube arm wrestler? He's good, but he might be too small to have an arm wrestling match. But either way, you can't underestimate him. Probably better off hitting him with your car. But let's see. Anything interesting happen in the arm wrestling world? Sailor says Derek has a lot of ideas. He definitely does. But I appreciate it. Keeps everyone on their toes with these thinking questions. Let's see. Derek says Nic Stone versus the Beast, Brock Lesnar in the Wild fight. Gonna have to get one of them wild cars. Do the old strategy. So Josh says he's like 165 or something, Akimbo. Yeah, that's what I thought. I know he's definitely good, but he just might be too small, to have a match. But he's definitely good, or at least from what I've seen, he looks pretty good. Anything interesting happen? Any other athletes get kicked out of the country? Like Bowen got kicked out of India? Any other arm wrestlers getting kicked out of countries, or Derek says Nic Stone versus Irakli, King of the Ring fight. Well, gonna need to fill the tank up in the car for that one. Silas says my phone's about to die, so I got to go. See you Sunday if you're doing the open gym. Yeah, we'll have the open gym Sunday. I'm gonna be going heavy because I took a little rest last week. And I don't think I'm gonna go to Massachusetts today, so I'll only have two table times, so I'll definitely be able to hit it hard Sunday. So yeah, Sunday we'll see you Sunday. Slug says Ryan Bowen got kicked out of India. I just say it like that. I don't think he actually got kicked out of India, but I saw something where a promoter was trying to ban him or kick him out or something. But yeah, I just thought it was funny. But Derek says Nic Stone versus Jerry, WAL pole fight. Well, I'll tell you what, Jerry's been missing practices, so might have a good shot. But either way, gonna hit him with the car. Maybe I'll borrow one of Jerry's cars because I know he's got a lot of cars. I know he's got. I'm gonna know what I'll do. He works at like a camper store, so I'm gonna go and test drive. I go, hey, if I test drive one of these campers, and then right during the test drive, I'm gonna hit him with the camper. Slick says, you think you have a chance against Bowen? Bowen's good, but I think I'd beat him. He's definitely good, but yeah, I definitely think I'd beat him. Derek says, Nic Stone versus Khabib, UFC cage fight, no car fight. Well, before the cage fight happened, I'd probably hit him with the car. And then, that's, the old strategy. Even if cars aren't allowed, they still have to get to the stadium. So they're never safe. Never safe. Let's see. So today's training, usually I go up to Mass on Wednesday, so I usually just do like a recovery lift. But today I'm gonna go a little heavy, definitely heavier, since I'm not going to Mass today. I'll probably do some pronation and riser today. We'll see. I'll probably end up doing the heavy workout that I normally do on Sundays. I'll probably do that today. But we'll see. I'm gonna check when I get back to the labyrinth. I'm gonna check the notepad, see what it is. Let's see. Let's see. You know what? I said it once, but I didn't say it twice. Since we got some people in the chat, make sure you get the pay-per-view. 9 incredible matches on this channel. under the memberships on this channel. So all you gotta do is sign up for memberships. You'll be able to watch the first ever Dungeon Super Series on Stone TV under memberships. If for some reason your phone you can't see memberships on your phone, it means your phone doesn't have the software, so you're gonna have to use a desktop or a laptop, and then you'll be good to go. Brian, what's up, Brian? We were just talking with Sayla a little bit, but she had to go because her phone died. But she was saying she felt pretty good from yesterday. How you feeling from yesterday's training, Brian? So it was a pretty good day. You know, it was a pretty good day. It was pretty short. You know, I mean, that's not a bad thing. I just think everyone was training and, you know what I mean, got blown up real fast, you know, because most people were gone by like 6:30 or something. So it means they must have been getting some good training in. Brian Jones says plus 5% power increase. That's a good increase. That's definitely a good increase. Let's see. Let me check the time. It's almost 9. Brian Jones says that strap work is all killer, no filler. That's how we do things. You know, we don't want no filler in anything, you know. Yeah, definitely, I feel like some of the things are definitely starting to really, you know, kick in, you know what I mean, like the technique and the stuff like that, you know, how to, you know, pull on the strap and stuff like that. So Derek says Nic Stone versus Ronnie Coleman Olympia fight. I'll tell you what, those bodybuilders probably aren't, when they're on stage, probably aren't in any condition to do any kind of physical activity, especially fighting. So maybe he'll get a big cramp, and if that happens, right when he's cramping up, grabbing the hamstring, I'm gonna hit him with the car. He won't even see it coming because they won't even, like, how did he get a car up on stage and how do we not notice it? But that's what's gonna happen. So, I know I asked this question before, but it's an interesting question. What do you guys think the difference is, the main differences between old school arm wrestling and new school arm wrestling? You know, because I think it's, at least from what I've seen and what I've experienced, my area, north, even Mass, I would consider old school style, which old school style is not a bad thing. It's just a different, the fundamentals are slightly different. Stuff like that. Pennsylvania is probably one of the first new school trainings, you know. But it's definitely interesting. It's definitely interesting, you know. So Derek says, missing some stuff. Derek says Nic Stone versus Corey West, King of the Ring fight. I'll tell you what, gonna need a big car for that one. Derek says Old School has raw strength. It's definitely true. Old School, I like to say, is grip it and rip it. Derek says New School has used all the gears. That's definitely true. It's very interesting, you know. But I like to ask that question because after I ask that question, I like to say I think the best arm wrestlers are the ones that start with Old School, you know, learn all the Old School ways, and then they learn all the New School ways and take the best of both. You know, because there's times when you know, New School styles are the way to go, and there's times where you know, the Old School styles are the way to go. So if you have both, you might be able to, you know, do things that the New School guys can't, and vice versa. Let's see. I probably won't do live my workout. It's going to be a little more intense, so I'm just going to focus on training. Maybe after the live, I'll do another, maybe tonight, or maybe after the workout, I'll do another live. So Brian says, I think how we're working the points of attack and defense is good compared to just ripping it. Yeah, I definitely agree. You know, working on you know, better angles and better positions and how to get those positions and leverages and stuff like that. I think it's definitely. I think it's starting to definitely show that people are getting better, you know. Yeah, it's definitely very, very interesting. It's very, very interesting. So Derek asked, you used heavy gears? And Derek says, am I right, Nic Stone? Oh, then he says, heavy gears, steroid abuse, Trent Baleen. Not for me, man. I haven't done no Trent Baleen. That sounds like that supplement you were talking. Who was it? Was it either maybe Slug was talking about that supplement? That sounds like that supplement with the 80-letter word in it. But I appreciate the comment. I appreciate that. Let's see. What's next for any big matches? So Derek says you need a drug test, my guy. Well, I'll tell you what, Derek, if you want a drug test, you can have it. All you gotta do is come over here, get on the knees, and then you'll get your piss test. Well, that's one of my favorite jokes. Anytime anyone asks for a drug test, you just say, you want a drug test? Sure. And then you just piss on them. Really throws people off, but they ask for it. What's up, Drew? You came the perfect time. We're talking about drug test. And if someone asks you for a drug test, just say, yeah, sure, no problem. Maybe piss on their shoe or something. And then they could take it to, take it back with them, get it tested. Josh says, LOL. Derek says, you sound funny. I appreciate that. I needed that today. One of those days where you just need a nice little compliment to keep it going. So I appreciate that. That's nice of you. So I got I don't know if it's a funny story, but I guess it's funny. So Derek says, funny like how, question mark? Like a clown, question mark? Do I amuse you, question mark? That's a good question. Do I amuse you, huh? Maybe a clown, but I'm not putting on no makeup. Derek says, Drew the clown is back. Alright, it's happening. But the story I would say about the drug test is 2021 IFA Worlds. I was, was at the IFA Worlds. There was like a backstage behind the stage with bathrooms, so I go back there. I've been using that bathroom because it's, it's closer and, there's not as many people. And I go to use there like a second time, and this time there's like a line of people. There's like 3 or 4 people, and I'm like, oh, and the door's open. They're all peeing with the door open. So I'm like, oh, that's weird. I guess they just pee with the door open. And then finally, I realized, oh, there's a guy doing drug tests. So, like, all right, I guess I'm doing a drug test now. And then there's the 3 people in front of me, or 3 or 4 people in front of me. They go and do the drug test. And the guy looks at me. I go, oh, you need me to do a drug test now? And he looks at me. He goes, no, you're good. And that was the last time anyone ever asked me to do a drug test, and he didn't even want me to do it. So I don't know what that means. Drew says, you never saw Goodfellas? I actually have not seen Goodfellas. I know a lot of people, that probably upsets a lot of people, but I'm not a fan of those Italian mobster movies. I haven't seen Goodfellas, I haven't seen The Godfather. Derek says, are you sweating, Nic Stone? I'm not sweating, I don't think. My drink's dropping condensation. Why I mentioned drug test, says Derek. Derek says, I'm kidding you, buddy. Oh, I appreciate that. I appreciate that. But yeah, remember, if you ever want one, come on over and I'll sprinkle a little bit on your shoes. Drew says, damn, it's a classic, man. Yeah, I definitely, I'm not disagreeing with you. It's just, I don't like those Italian mobster movies. Shooter and Strawberry says, not being a fan makes it the best movie you will ever see. I swear. I appreciate that, man, but yeah, I don't have any interest in watching The Godfather or anything Italian mobster. I like zombies, so if you know any good zombie movies, let me know. Zombies are always good. Michael says, is America doing okay? Yeah, I think we're doing okay. There's some bad stuff going on, but there's also a lot of good stuff going on. So I think we're doing okay, and I think we will be doing better. I think we'll be doing better as time goes on. Shooter Strawberry says, quotation, training day. Yes, every day is a training day. You got to lift every day. Even if you're injured, you got to lift. You got to train. So Drew says, you've seen all the classics. Night of the Living Dead, original black and white, and the remake. I've seen that years ago. You're talking about the one with the that was one of the first movies where they had a black actor lead, right? Is that the one with the black dude in it, or is that a different one? I think I saw that one, the black and white one. The original Dawn of the Dead was good. The new Dawn of the Dead was good. Shooter says, Casino, quotation. I don't know, maybe those movie names or something. Drew says Dawn of the Dead. Yeah, Dawn of the Dead was good. I used to watch that. I had the original one. I had a VHS when I was a kid. I used to watch that all the time. The new Dawn of the Dead was good too. The newer one, I think it was made in like 2004, so it's not new, but the newer one. Shooter Strawberry says, you ever heard of Devin Lorette? I've heard of him. I think he does a little arm wrestling, maybe. Drew says, who's this Devin you speak of? I think he might be a YouTuber, Drew. He might be one of them YouTubers. That's probably how everyone knows him. He probably does some YouTube videos or something. But I hear he's pretty good from what everyone's saying. I hear he's pretty good. Shooter Strawberry says, just type it in on YouTube. I just might. Yeah. Oh, Drew says, what's YouTube? Question mark. YouTube is a place where people come together of all shapes and sizes and mental capacities, and Yeah, they make videos and stuff. Things get fun, things get weird sometimes. But YouTube is interesting. Out of all like the social medias, like I consider YouTube a social media, like Facebook and Instagram and YouTube. I think YouTube is the most fun. Let's see. Drew says that sounds neat. Maybe we should look into it? Question mark. I think we should. So if anybody's got some free time coming up, definitely look into it. Shooter Strawberry says, as far as movies, anything by Rob Zombie. Yeah, he makes some good movies. The Devil's Rejects. What was it? The House of a Thousand Corpses. And he made there's a new one that he I think he directed. I forgot the name of it. I watched it, but I can't remember the name of it. It was pretty twisted. Something about like this carnival, bunch of clowns in the carnival, all crazy people. But actually, when I used to live in a town, and Rob Zombie used to live in that town. And I used to be neighbors with Rob Zombie. I used to live in a little town named Woodbury, and now when I say neighbors, we weren't door to door, but I would see through the woods is where he would be, you know what I mean? But actually, when I was a teenager, I worked at a burger place, and him and his wife used to come in all the time. And fun fact for you, Rob Zombie is a vegetarian. That's a fun fact. It might ruin a lot of people's minds, but Rob Zombie does not eat meat. He's a vegetarian. They used to come in all the time, him and his wife, and they'd order veggie burgers. And yep, that's what I remember. So fun fact for you, Rob Zombie eats veggie burgers. Brent says, good morning. Good morning, Brent. Nice watching. Drew says, Brent Spinner, good morning. With the little happy face with the sun. A little happy sun face. It is a good morning, the sun's not out, but it's still nice. I got the window open, and it's not chilly or anything. Derek says, Nic Stone versus Levon, steroid battle. Well, I'll tell you what. Before that battle starts, I'm going to hit him with my car. And then, I don't know how you win that, but he's definitely getting hit with the car first. Let's see. Well, looks like the rain is starting to come down a little more now. I might have spoke too soon. But a little rain never hurt. What's that old saying? You're not made of sugar. You won't melt. Or something like that. So let's see. Michael says Fred Vogel gives Rob Zombie a run for his money in terms of disturbing cinema. I'm not sure if I know Fred Vogel. What movies did he do, Michael? Um, so Josh says, Nick, how do you prefer to pull? Question mark. Meaning, what style is your favorite without giving anything away? I would say top roll, probably top roll. Um, I like the top roll because you have more options and stuff like that. You know. But yeah, so without giving anything away, I'll definitely say top roll. So Shooter Strawberry says, I am a truck driver, been over the road 35 years, ain't been home since June 9th. Oh man, that's rough. Tough. Truck driving is a tough job, you know, especially when you're on the road all the time. And my grandfather was a trucker, and so it's a tough job, So hopefully you're making good money and you get home soon, and see the family and stuff. Michael says August Underground and August Underground's Mordom. I never saw that, but maybe I'll check it out. Maybe I could check it out. Um, well, got to shut the window. It's starting to rain a little too much. Just got to make sure the car's off now. Don't want the battery to die. Derek says Nic Stone versus Larry Wheels, Battle of the Drug. Well, I'll tell you what, Larry Wheels is getting hit with a car, and then we'll start the battle. Michael says Rob A. I'm not sure what you mean by that, unless that's a movie. Shooter and Strawberry says, what music do you like? I like a lot of stuff. Depends on what I'm doing. If I'm lifting, I like, metal and, maybe some good, now I say good rap. What I mean by good rap is, not that gay stuff they make now, with I don't even know, but I like Cypress Hill. I consider that good rap. Maybe some people might consider that hip hop. But either metal or something like Cypress Hill for when I'm working out. If I'm just chilling, the music might get a little weird. Lately, I've been listening to quite a bit of the Bloodhound Gang, which they got some really weird stuff. But it's funny. I like the funny songs. But yeah, if I'm lifting, it's usually harder stuff, and if I'm chilling, it's usually softer, funny stuff. Derek says another drug battle. Says Nic Stone versus Lon drugs battle. So not drugs, multiple drugs. I'll tell you what, I'm gonna drug up the car, get the car all roided up, souped up. Then they're gonna hit him with the car. So Michael says, typo error. Rob Zombie wishes he could be as edgy as Fred Vogel within getting banned. That's what I had to say. Oh, okay. So let's see. Yeah, I'll have to check that out, you know. Derek says, roided up and smash Levine. All right, I appreciate that. Shooter and Strawberry says, you have to listen to After the Burial. Is that metal? Is that metal stuff? Maybe I'll try that out today if I remember. I don't have the best memory. I always forget stuff. But yeah, it sounds like a metal song if I've ever heard one. Let's see. I've been listening to metal music. That's metal. I've been listening to a lot of Hatebreed. I'm sure a lot of, if you know metal, I'm sure you know what Hatebreed is. You know, they're a pretty popular band. And fun fact about Hatebreed is they were created in the same state that I live in, and I was too young for, you know what I mean, to see them before they started. But I have a buddy who's I think he's probably 10 years older than me, that he used to go to the Hatebreed concerts before they got famous. So he was at the first, you know, some of the first ever Hatebreed concerts, when, you know, they weren't even concerts, they were just, you know, shows, like local shows where just, you know, if you knew someone, they tell you to show up, you know. And we got, I think people are still in the chat that know Chris Lacko is the guy. I'm sure you could have guessed, but he's the guy that next, if you're ever interested, about, ask him about you know, the old Hatebreed concerts. So he told me about it. It was, you know, some pretty cool stuff. Shooter Strawberry says, Behold the Crown is the best one. All right. That's the name of the band, After the Burial. That sounds familiar. Maybe I've heard it before, but yeah, I'll check it out. I should be able to remember that. It's only 3 words. Hopefully I should be able to remember that. Let's see. So let's see. Derek says, you need to stream with your family, man. That's probably not a good idea, you know, because there is a lot of creeps. I'm not saying, no, I'm not calling you a creep, let me be clear, but there are a lot of weirdos that say some not good things that I don't want my family to see. You know, it's fine with, you know, with me or the guys, because it's just, you know, just a bunch of guys, but I'm definitely not going to, I'm not going to subject my family to stuff like that. Yeah, Derek says, I'm not creeps. Yeah, I know you're cool. But I don't know if you've seen some of the comments. You know, your comments are good, but there's some stuff that definitely not family friendly that people type up. Derek says, I just want to see your happy family. Oh, yeah. Well, I appreciate that. Derek says, yeah, I got it. Some creeps out there. Yeah, you just gotta watch out for those people. Okay, what's up, man? He says, Stone, bro. What's up, man? Long time no see. Welcome back. So I'm curious. I think, where is everyone in the chat from? I think right now we might have a majority of people from India, if I'm not mistaken. I think Derek's from India. I think Kay's from India. I think, if I remember. But where's everyone from? I'm curious to see what. Oh, Derek's from Russia. Okay, all right. Whoop, I missed a chat. Kay says, Stone v Stone Cold. Stone will get beer stunner. Well, I'll tell you what. Before that ever happens, I'm gonna Stone Cold Steve Austin with the car. Hit him with the old car. Derek says, Schoolboy, my hometown. All right. So there's got to be something over there in the water that's making people good arm wrestlers. Drew says, Vegas, UAL. Whoops. Scrolled up by itself. UAL Miss Olympia tournament this next weekend here, Friday and Saturday. All right. The Olympia. I forgot about that. That could be cool. That could be a cool one. UAL. I didn't even think they were still around, to be honest. Who runs that UAL? Who's the main guy in UAL, Drew? Kay says, Derek, me, our friends, bro. Well, that's good. I'm glad you guys are friends. So Josh says, hey y'all, please don't forget to hit that thumbs up button. Doesn't cost you a thing, but greatly helps out the channel. I definitely appreciate that, Josh. It's definitely true. Make sure you listen to Josh. Hit that thumbs up because it definitely helps. So appreciate that. Kay says, India, Russia, always friends from history. Oh, that's good. The old history friends. Drew says Bill Collins. Okay, cool. So he probably runs a good show. He's experienced and stuff like that. Yeah, but for some reason I thought, I didn't think they were still around for some reason. Man Thin says, sup, big man? What's up, man? Thanks for watching. Talking about arm wrestling stuff, maybe powerlifting stuff, a whole bunch of maybe gym stuff. We were talking about zombie movies before. So Derek says, Nic Stone, go watch Mr. Olympia and smash Samson Duwada in the stage. I appreciate that, Derek. I'm not sure who Samson is. He must be a bodybuilder or something. Kay says, oh, Drew, you're back after a long time, bub. Yeah, he's always, even if you think Drew's gone, he's never gone. He'll be back, just like that, that robot in that movie. He says he'll be back. Drew says he needs to keep the UAL website up to date, though. He's not particularly good at advertising it. I think I will. I barely found out about it a week ago. Yeah, I mean, I would think if I'm not the only person that thinks it's that, up until you told me, I thought it wasn't around anymore. So I would think that some people probably have the same thinking. you know, but that's interesting. That's interesting. Derek says Samson is last year Mr. Olympia. All right. Good for him. Good for him. If he's winning the Olympia, he's got to be working hard because that's not an easy thing to do. When I was powerlifting, I used to be around a lot of bodybuilders, so I used to, you know, be more familiar with bodybuilding. But now that I'm, arm wrestling, I'm usually not around too many bodybuilders unless they want to try arm wrestling. But I don't think I'll ever step on stage for bodybuilding. It's not really my style, you know. One is subjective and one is objective, you know, and if that makes sense. Drew says, and it's in my own backyard. I pulled it a couple years ago when it was here. Oh, good, you know. You should definitely check it out, you know, even if see what's up, you know. Manthan says, I'm pretty sure I can beat you at arm wrestling. Well, there's only one way to find out, Manthan, and that's to, practice Saturday. You come over to the States. Practice Saturday, 10 a.m. Kay says, Hanuman is god of war in India, as Thor is believed to be. All right. Manthan says, at most other things too, I bet. There's only one way to find out. There's only one way to find out. Derek says, bodybuilding takes time unless you are roided up. Kay says, beard looks good for you. I appreciate that, man. Derek says, Nic Stone versus Manhattan street fight. Well, you know the drill by now. He's gonna get hit with a car first. Because, if you have a winning strategy, you don't need to change it. Kay says, Nic Stone versus Levon, 2027. Levon is going to build up high. That would be cool. We got 2 years. We got 2 years to train. So Manthan says, Nick, buddy, I'm 150 pounds. You better choose your words carefully. I'm trying. I usually try to be careful with my words, because words can hurt. So you got to be careful. The Yo says, what's up, my G? What's up, man? Thanks for watching. If you like arm wrestling, you picked the right channel. Derek says, Manthan is cocky saying he can beat Nic Stone in arm wrestling. He might be, but there's only one way to find out, and that's to have an actual match. So, Isaac Hall? How do you say that? I'm going to say Isaac for short. Hell yeah, brother. I love arm wrestling. That's what I'm talking about. You picked the right channel, man, because, everyone here likes arm wrestling. The Yo says, first time here. Well, thanks for watching, man. I probably won't be on too much longer. But, yeah, it was a good live, so if you want to go back and watch it, I highly recommend. It was a good one. We had lots of fun. Talk about a whole bunch of stuff. Shooter Strawberry says, if you like arm wrestling, you will love Devin Lorette. He talks trash and does what he says, and he's 50 years old. Yeah, man. He's definitely a good wrestler. Drew and I were just kind of joking around. We know who Devin is. He's definitely he definitely does he does what he says. That's for sure. He's probably older. He might be 51 maybe now, but yeah, he's definitely a good arm wrestler. He's probably debatably he's probably number 2 in the world right now. Debatably, I would say he's probably number 2 right hand. Left hand, he's probably somewhere in the top 10, top 15 probably. BK says UFK with Bison. I've eaten bison before. BK says, have you seen slapping wrestling? Is that you talking about like the old fighting in like with Bass Rutten used to do the fighting in the ring? Their kicks were allowed, but no closed hand fist. So they were able to palm strike, but you couldn't hit with a closed fist. Is that what you're talking about? Or are you talking about that slap thing where they just slap each other in the face? They take turns. But either way, I've seen both of those. Derek says 150 pounds, cocky. So Isaac says I'm pounding 6 back-to-back black coffees, and I'm going to smoke cigarettes. All right, man. Well, that's what helps you wake up in the morning. That's what helps. Kay says king of all bisons. So Isaac says my name is Izza, pronounced Izza. All right, that makes it easy. Easier, maybe. I might slip up by calling you Isaac, but I'm working on it. Shooter and Strawberry says his wife, daughter, and son compete. Yeah, definitely. They definitely do. And he's got multiple sons competing. Was it Auden and Milo? They're doing good. Kay says, who was #1 arm wrestler in 2005? I would if I had to guess, I'm either gonna go John Brzezinski or Dennis Kaplankov. If I had to guess, 2005. Yeah, that's what I would think. So is this a slap fight? Power slap? All right. CC says do a flip. I'll tell you what. There's a price. $20,000 American money. And he says Wolverine. Isa says Wolverine power slap beating arm wrestler. Question mark. I'm not sure what you're talking about, man. Bass. Drew says Bass was a boss. Yeah, he definitely was. Like the old palm strikes that he does. Kay says Deadpool ass hearing Wolverine. I'm not sure what you mean by that either, man. Isa says Esau. I'm not sure what you mean by that. Shooter Strawberry says, I saw one get knocked out, and I swear his head spun all the way around like The Exorcist. Yeah, man. That's the risk you take when you do that slap fight. I mean, that's not for me. That slap fight, is not for me. Unless you're talking about Bass Rutten, doing with the head kicks, because that was fun to watch. Kay says, Bub, that movie Conjuring 2 was too boring. I don't think I saw that movie. Brian Jones says Chief was pretty dominant in 05 era. He definitely was. He definitely was. You know, there was a point when Chief was pretty much unbeatable in any weight class, even when he weighed about 176 pounds. Yeah, that's definitely true, Brian. Drew says Bas Rutten was king of the pancreas, is where they weren't allowed to use. Whoop, chats are moving. Weren't allowed to use closed fist. Yep. But they could hit. But they had boots on. They had boots on. You could kick in the head, but you couldn't hit with a closed fist. If I'm not mistaken, I think that those were the rules. You can wear boots and kick people in the head, but you couldn't hit anybody with a closed fist, which was was interesting. Oh, so Isa said that's my name of pronunciation, Esau, without the W. All right, we're working on it. We're working on it. Derek says Dennis the Monster in 2000s era. Definitely true. Oh, Drew says pancreas, not pancreas. Oh well. Yeah, that's probably just my accent. You know, that's the old the New England accent. You know, it's a little different. It's a little different than the Las Vegas, Nevada accent. You know, that's probably all it is. So let's see. Let me check the time. All right. So Kay says Stone has Viking accent. Oh, I appreciate that. I appreciate it. I think that is a compliment. Drew says, "Is the rain cold there now?" Question mark. I'm not sure. I mean, it's still not too bad. It's probably like 50, 55 maybe. It's not too cold. But I had to shut the windows because it was getting wet. So Derek says Drew versus Nic Stone street fight. I'm sorry, Drew, but I gotta do it. I gotta hit you with the car. I don't make the rules, man. I don't make the rules. It's just the way it has to go. But I think Drew will understand. You know, he's a smart guy. He's a tough guy. He'll be all right. He'll bounce back. Kay says Stone will be winning easily. Well, I appreciate that. I appreciate that. But you don't know Drew. Drew's no slouch. He might have a car of his own. You never know. Derek says, I gotta do it, Drew. It happens. You know, rules are rules, man. Rules are rules. Let's see. Derek says Drew playing mind games. He might have a tank. He might. I know. Nevada, they got some. You can get some crazy stuff over there. But actually, guys, you know what? I should probably get going. But thanks for watching, guys, and we'll see you next time.